Kinley here from Orkney Covered Private Tours at the Standing Stones of Stenness. This has got to be one of the greatest sites in Orkney ever for ancient history. First thing I would like to do though is big thank you to Buffalo Systems for the Explorer shirt. Oh, this is the warmest and most amazing, or one of the most amazing Buffalo jackets or shirts that I own. And so I'm very proud to be a brand ambassador for them, and I get to wear amazing kit like this. There we go. Anyway, this is the Standing Stones of Stenness. Look at this site. Now I'm the only person here with a few sheep ahead of me. Now this is a site that's several hundred years older than Stone Henge down in Wiltshire. These stones, as you can see them, are about 20 feet above the ground, so 5 meters above, and 3 meters below, about 10 feet below. They come from the from land that used to be, and probably areas of open sort of large-scale cliff positions and land quarries. Probably from a range of about 10 miles. These stones are sedimentary sandstone. So if we were here 400 million years ago, currently we'd be south of the equator under a gigantic freshwater lake bed known as Lake Orkney. So Lake Orkney was this huge freshwater lake that took up a large section of what is now Orkney in the far north of Scotland, and also the North Sea. And it was south of the equator, and what we had was all this stone that has been hand selected by these ancient people and brought here, probably using purely things like seaweed. Now a lot of people think, how on earth did you use that? Well, if you take a bit of kelp, okay, bit of kelp and stretch it, it's like one of these things you do in the gym, makes it very difficult to break it apart. Lengthways it's strong, middle if you break it and cut it, it's very easy in which to cut that. So you're probably using multiple layers of this amazing kelp and then pulling it into position with the stones on top. So lengthways it'd be quite difficult to do this over a period of time, but a lot easier, because one thing we didn't have many back then is the same today, are trees. Now the idea behind a henge, the word henge, H-E-N-G-E, a henge is a ditch or a rampart that surrounds a circle or of stone or wooden structures used for ceremonial purpose. That's what a henge is, okay? The stone circle itself is not a henge, the ditch around it is. Now the idea behind it is, what on earth do you use a henge for? The henge is literally for echoing your voice. Okay, so what I'm going to attempt to do is use my GoPro and see if I can sit it next to one of the standing stones and clap my hands to see if you can hear a bit of an echo. Alrighty, so we're going to take it over towards this stone here and place it down on the ground. Hopefully one of the sheep won't half-inch my camera and I'll be able to do the echo. Yeah, it should be good. There we go. What you looking at, man? So, here we go. You can hear the echo of my voice. When I was one, I sucked my thumb the day I went to sea. I climbed aboard a pirate ship and the captain said to me, we go this way, that way, forwards and backwards, over the Irish Sea. A bottle of rum in my tum, and that's the life for me. The sheep look unimpressed. Anyway, so there we go. So these stones are very tall, okay, and very shattered looking, and that's because the weathering of the stones has taken over a long period of time. Thousands of years they've been standing here, and sedimentary sandstone, which this is, has shattered because of the salt air. So the stone here is a couple of feet thick. You can see the cross bedding, or the waves of the cross bedding on the sandstone. Lichen going up to the top. Lots of lichen suggests a high amount of air quality. House of the Red Roof is called the Odin House, named after the war god of the Old Norse, Odin. Now, apparently up into the late 19th century, there used to be a stone in the field there, about my height, where the circle cut out the middle. If yourself and your wife or your partner were having an argument, you'd kiss through it or make sort of amends through the stone. Some complete dafty put his head in it in the 19th century and thought it would cure his cold symptoms. He ended up getting pneumonia, but it didn't work for him. Then a local man got totally fed up in the late 19th century, went to buy a stick of dynamite and a pint of milk, and decided to go to town with some of the stones. The Odin stone, however, was blown up by gunpowder, okay? So, yes, that's correct shape, it's gunpowder. So, this stone here, however, has got boreholes bored out for dynamite on it. And so this local man got fed up with people walking across his fields to look at these stones, that he decided to take matters into his own hands. Bored out for dynamite here and up at the top. Now luckily he didn't manage to blow up this stone, but unlikely, or rather likely, he probably did blow up a few others. So it's unfortunate that they were here all the way up until 1867. Although some of them were probably smashed down by lightning, have taken down and fallen down over time, and probably only a few, maybe 3 or so, remained as you see them today. But then in 1867, Mr. Nobel inadvertently invented dynamite, hence the Nobel Peace Prize. So these stones were then, you know, a bit worryingly, could have been used for being blown up for building stone. So one of the things that's been traded throughout history here in Orkney is building stone. Now, right down here, this stone on an angle. Some people think locally it was called the sacrificial stone. Probably not, but the idea is it goes up to the top here, behind it. Now it's a minefield in here with a sheep poo, so you've got to watch out for that. Looks like we've had a bad curry today. If you put your camera behind or between these two stones, it makes the stone at the front there make it look smaller than these two stones here. It's a great camera shot. So there we go, the Standing Stones of Stenness. What was it used for? For transferring your voice over an area and speaking to the people in your community or singing them a song. In the middle, some people think, oh, it's a hearth. Possibly would have been used as a hearth, the types of things they found from excavation through the Midden and radiocarbon dating. But ground penetrating radar shows this is quite deep, so I personally think it was possibly a spring, such as an aquifer, and then over time perhaps been filled in and used as a hearth. Way across here in the far distance, you don't see it just now, is the Ring of Brodgar. So this site here dates back to about 5,200-ish years ago, maybe slightly older. The one over there, about 4,800. So right in the centre of the Ring of Brodgar is a little wet ground round position. Some people think it's an aquifer underneath. So one of the things that we've traded throughout history here in Orkney, apart from building stone, is drinking water. And I'll tell you a bit more about that in Stromness in another video. Anyway, I would say that these opinions are my own and that I am not an archaeologist, but I do like to keep an open mind about what this site could be. But what's amazing is I'm the only person here today. During the summer seasons, this can be a very busy place to be. Now, for anybody watching this video, please do not go up and cuddle the sheep, okay? Yes, you heard me right, there are some idiots that come up here and cuddle sheep and annoy them, particularly when they've got lambs. And that's just a silly thing to do. So ahead of us is the Loch of Stenness. It's brackish, tidal. Behind me, the Loch of Harry, it's freshwater. So there probably would have been 8, maybe 12 stones in a perimeter. It's about 110 feet in diameter from ditch to ditch. Now to show you what I mean by the ditch, we'll come down here. There we go. This is the henge that we're walking through just now. So here you can see a bit of an angle on the stone. This is the henge. So 110 feet in diameter from ditch to ditch. And so even from the perimeter here, hello, bit of an echo, even though the sheep didn't look up at me, that's a shame. So there we go, the Standing Stones of Stenness, believed to predate Stone Henge by hundreds of years. Perhaps over time ancient people have had enough of Orkney and the climate and decided to move down. Maybe the tidal levels rose, or perhaps there was a major cataclysmic event such as a tsunami. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to upload this onto to YouTube later. Hopefully it'll take some time to do that, and tell me what you think of it. Anyway, from Kinley from Orkney Uncovered Private Tours here at the Standing Stones of Stenness. I hope you have a great day, and thank you very much for subscribing.